Welcome back live to day 4 of the 2017 SEA Games netball competition. We are at the Juara Stadium in Bukit, Kiara. Set fair for the second and final game on day 4. It's Thailand against Brunei. Thailand, along with Singapore and Malaysia, the only ever presence in SEA Games netball. Of course, twice before we've had the netball competition grace the SEA Games, in 2001 right here in Kuala Lumpur and in 2015 in Singapore. Thailand taking on Brunei. Thailand twice bronze medalists, but it's going to be an interesting clash this against a Brunei team that was showing signs of improvement. And it was very close when the teams met back in 2015. The Thais coming out on top, 45 goals to 40, I should say. And that was a very close encounter. Brunei led at the half, and Thailand came back strong in the third and fourth quarters. So very interesting indeed to see how these two teams fare. Thailand ahead of Brunei at the moment, but only on goal difference. You can see there in the table, we've just seen Singapore demolish the Philippines to take possession of second spot. Would take a huge effort in terms of goal difference for Brunei or Thailand to knock Singapore off second in this game. I think that's highly unlikely. But nevertheless, Brunei and Thailand battling it out for third place. Of course, you could argue, on what we've seen so far, neither team would want to play Malaysia in the semi-finals, which is what would happen if you finish fourth. Thailand have a big game themselves against Singapore tomorrow evening in one of the final matches of this preliminary round. And already it looks like the Philippines are going to be the team that don't make it through to the medals weekend. They've given us some great netball and been tremendous sports, but just a little bit outclassed by their opposition so far, as was the case when they just lost 91-22. To Singapore. Taking a look at the Thai coach there, Chung Lili will be galvanising her troops, who have looked impressive at times throughout this competition. They had spells against Malaysia where they matched them, didn't get completely blown away until the final quarter. They were impressive in dismantling the Philippines. That 70-point victory still remains the biggest winning margin of the tournament so far. As for Brunei, well, they were a little bit more workmanlike in seeing off the Philippines, 69-32. They managed to score 27 goals against Malaysia. But the game that really impressed with Brunei was the opening encounter against Singapore, only going down 62-37, and they drew the third quarter in that one, 12 each. So if they can carry that form through, be very happy indeed for their coach. You just saw there, Jinadasa Tilaka. We'll be starting in around about 7 minutes' time as you get a look at Pawina there. Leading defence in the starting 7 for Thailand. Just getting the jacket on to keep warm with the final minutes ticking down before we get this second game of the day underway. Mind, there's still plenty of action in the SEA Games throughout the course of the afternoon and evening, including the Thai ladies' male counterparts in the football, looking to bounce back from that disappointing draw against Indonesia. They take on Timor-Leste. That should be a routine assignment for them. But we've said that before in sport, and as we know, anything can happen. The dignitaries from Brunei and Thailand taking their position in the VIP boxes. And it won't be too long now before the umpires call the players to the court. We'll check up on the team lineups for you in just a moment. The Thai starting 7, pretty similar to that starting 7 that were beaten by Malaysia. Just trying to go through the starting 7 to see if there's any changes at all. I can see that there is a change at goal scorer for the Thais. Pat Ledathanan comes in, easy for me to say. I'm just checking if there's any sign of Tongma. Yes, Tongma's going to start in her usual position of goal defence and at goal shooter. That's the change. Sitachip making way for the aforementioned Pak Ledathanan. So there you have the lineups. Confirmation that Kliwa Ked will keep goal for Thailand. Patchari Sangjan charged with dominating the centre of the court, and Surima Samnari, who we caught a glimpse of a couple of moments ago, she'll be sharing the goal scoring duties. for Brunei, it's a pretty steady lineup for them as well. I think their coach is pretty familiar with what she thinks the best starting 7 is. There's another glimpse of Ching Lili, the Thai coach, getting her troops around. Brunei arguably have been one of the surprise packages so far. That game against Singapore in particular was really impressive, and I guess you could say for only the second time this week, it's a game that's quite difficult to call the winner of. Confirmation, the goal scoring threat through Brunei, Hafisa as goal scorer, and Siti Mariati at goal attack. She was certainly impressive at times against Singapore.
Welcome to Malaysia, welcome to Kuala Lumpur.
We'll pass over very shortly to our courtside Master of Ceremonies to introduce the teams. Just a reminder, this is Brunei's final game in the preliminary round. Thailand have one more to come tomorrow against Singapore. A must-win game for both. Should be very competitive. Looking forward to it. Let's get down courtside.
It's an honor to introduce the 2 teams, starting from Team Thailand. Can we have both 7 starting players be ready in front of the airboard? Thank you. At goal shoot, Tiratana Niti Worochot P. Goal attack, Samnari S. Wing attack, Panchang D. Sinta, Sangjan P. Wing defense, Kamwan P. At goal defense, Tong Mabi. And the goalkeeper is Panchaturat K.
Yang ini ramai tunggu. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you 7 on-court players for Brunei, Darussalam. Yeah. Goal shooter, Haji Abdul Sidi NH. Okay. Goal attack, Ahmad SM. Wing attack, Haji Abdul Hamid Z. Center, Pehin Datuk Paduka Haji Muhammad Jafar AA. Wing defense, Pengiran Abdul Rahman DK. Goal defense, Samad NA. Last but not least, goalkeeper, Haji Shukri NSF.
The umpires for this match are Budika, Nigel Lim, and Yu Biling as a reserve umpire. Let's sit back and watch this game, audience. To both teams, good luck.
Great work from our ringside, or courtside I should say, Master of Ceremonies. They make it sound like boxing, it's fantastic. And one thing that must be said, great to see both sets of players applauding each other onto the court. The netball thus far has been played in a brilliant sportsman or sportswoman-like manner as Brunei Darussalam get ready to start this first quarter of netball. They look up for it, Brunei, don't they? Including good old Fizz, their goal scorer, Noor Hafisa. She was really impressive in that game against Singapore, and she particularly looked really up for this game. Brunei fancy their chances here, as will the Thais. There's an obstruction call there, giving the free effort to Brunei. Both obviously wanting to make a good start. Now, she was ruthless in front of the basket, Fizz, before. And she starts off in a good vein, just about, against Thailand. So Brunei with the early advantage here. Thailand looking to come straight back down the other end of the court. The high lob pass, one-handed to their goal scorer, Pak Ladathanan. I think she's going to score plenty of goals, so I better get used to saying that name, Pak Ladathanan. Pak Ladathanan. I think we'll go with that last variation. Apologies to our Thai viewers and indeed the lady in question, because one thing's for sure, she is a very good netball player indeed. Now Fizz, she looks really up for this. She was the star of the Brunei show against Singapore. I must say I didn't catch the Malaysia game, but they gave Malaysia a decent fist of it. Didn't manage to score as many points against Malaysia as they did against Singapore, but the goals were still coming nonetheless. Here's Mariatti for her first goal of the afternoon, and in it goes. So both the goal scorer and goal attack are off to a strong start. As we caught a glimpse of that familiar routine of Hafisa adjusting those glasses. What a beautifully lob pass that was from goal attack Sam Nuri. And it's another goal for Pak Ladathanan. You can tell the intensity here, and the crowd noticeably more buoyant for this one than they were for Singapore's game against the Philippines. Thailand's have forced a mistake from the centre there. Afian coming up with the turnover. Afiya Assad under a bit of pressure there in the centre. Look at how hard and fast this game's being played. That was a beautiful bounce pass. The wing attack is looking for it back, gets it back, and they're employing that, aren't they? They're utilising the height advantage that Pak Ladathanan gives them, and that's clearly a ploy they've been working on. Noticeable on 3 occasions now the ball's gone into the D. They've gone high with the pass, and Pak Ladathanan with that height advantage. They've done it again there, you see. It's a carbon copy of the previous goal, and Thailand have opened up by 2. And all 4 goals to Pak Ladathanan. The Brunei supporters in the crowd looking on anxiously. They don't want to let Thailand get too far ahead here. I'm sure Hafisa will have something to say about that. The umpire warning about contact. It's going to give Hafisa a chance to halve the deficit to 1 goal. Oh, she's missed. But she'll get another go. The whistle have gone. Now both players have to be out of play. She's not going to make a mistake with nobody in attendance. And now it's 4-3. Superb concentration, always on the face of Hafisa. She's a joy to watch on the netball court. Obstruction call again there, this time against Brunei. And a chance for goal attack, Sarima Samnari to get her first goal of the afternoon's proceedings. They go out wide, Brunei. You can see they're at a slight physical disadvantage against their Thai opposition. Seemingly both up front and in defence. That's a beautiful pass though, using the guile to get the ball back to Mariatti. And now it's 5-4. Good score from Siti Mariatti. So for Brunei, the 2 girls, Hafisa and Mariatti, showing the goal-scoring exploits for Thailand. Their tactic seems to be quite simple. Get it through to Pak Ladathanan, as they have done there via the shot from Sam Marie. She's missed again, but look how she towers over not just her teammate, but the 2 girls from Brunei. And more often than not, that's going to lead to her getting second opportunities when and if she needs them. And Thailand lead by 2 once more. In the centres, it's Athia Assad getting things back underway for Brunei. They haven't trailed by more than 2 so far, so they want to be scoring on this possession to make sure that's not the case in the next 60 seconds. Hafisa, her cool, calm, concentrated self as ever. Oh, there's a bit of physical coming together there between Hafisa and the goalkeeper, Kiara. Goal attack to Siti Mariatti. Passes it to the goal shooter, Hafisa. Just checking with Badika, our umpire, that he was happy for the shot to be taken, and indeed it was. Had to sort the shoelaces out, Hafisa. Really quick game this, and there they go. It's a lob, that lob, one-arm lob pass is clearly a tactic they've been working on in training, this Thai team. Really trying to utilise that height of Pak Ladafnan. On that occasion, it was Sam Nuri that was the beneficiary from the confusion it caused in the Brunei defence. So it's advantage Thailand, but it's tight this. You can see that we might be in for a similar treat to the tight game and the come-from-behind game from Thailand's perspective that we enjoyed 2 years ago in Singapore. It is a chance for a first 3-goal gap. Again, the one-arm lob pass over the heads of the two girls in goal defence and goalkeeper for Brunei, and it's a gap of 3. And already, I'm sure Coach Tilaka will be looking at that and seeing if there's any positional changes she can make. You wouldn't really want to sacrifice Mariatti from her forward position, but nonetheless, they've got to do something to combat this, because Pak Ladafnan is having an absolute field day, and all of a sudden the gap is 4. Look at that shot from range from Hafisa. That was cool as you like. It was almost, in basketball terms, a 3-pointer. Doesn't count, unfortunately, which is a bit of a blow. And it was a footwork call or an obstruction or perhaps an offside, but it doesn't count. And look again, that height and reach of Pak Ladafnan, giving her an easy opportunity to open the gap to 5. She is on fire. And clearly, if you're Singaporean watching this, I'm already looking forward to the match-up between Lily Chen and Pak Ladafnan tomorrow. 2 giants in literal and metaphorical senses of their team's netball competition. Gap 6, this is worrying for Brunei. They're physically mismatched here, but in terms of netball skills, they can certainly run with Brunei in the middle of the court. It's at either end they're having a little bit of problem. Hafisa, as fine a shooter as she is, just doesn't have the same physical attributes of an Najwa, of a Pak Ladafnan. But she's a fighter. But there's an example. She misses out on the rebound. If that was the Thai goal shooter, it would have been for sure a second bite at the cherry for Thailand. And that's the trouble when you have that height disadvantage. You get very few second opportunities. There, look, again, this one-arm lob pass. There's an contact on the arm, which is going to give Pak Ladafnan, or the Pak lady, as I think I might have to start calling her, the amount of goals she's scoring and the amount of mention she's getting. She's the leader of the Thai pack, no question, Pak Ladafnan. Contact on the arm for the Brunei possession. Hafisa, can tell how frustrated she is already. Just like that, her Brunei team trail by 7, but she's made it a 6-goal deficit. Great camera work at these SEA Games so far. You really get to see the emotion on the athletes' faces, and Hafisa is one of those really emotional players. Saw it yesterday with Najwa and Lily Chen. The emotion in their faces, they were locked in a duel, was there for all to see, as Badika has given Brunei a break there. They're going to get possession, and Hafisa, 2 goals on the bounce for her. Gap's back down to 5 now. They can keep this tight, can they, in the final 5 minutes? If they could go into the quarter time with just 2 or 3 goals behind, we'd really be at the races. Well, Hafiz has gone on a roll here. And what a comeback this is towards the end of the first quarter. Look at that. They trail by 7, remember, and just like that, they now trail by 3. Just dribbled in. And you must forgive me for not identifying Prince Sufri of Brunei, who is in the royal box, and great to see him cheering on his Brunei athletes. He's a big supporter of sport. He is the highest sports authority in Brunei, and I'm sure he'll be proud of the comeback they're staging in this first quarter. They're going to trail by 4 now, though, as they continue to struggle with that physical presence and the height advantage that Pak Kedathanan has. Chance to have a look at the defensive skills there of Ben Willai. Umpire Bodika calling it back. You can see the perspiration pouring off Hafisa. Can't be an advantage wearing glasses in a netball court as well. I'm sure there's a reason why she's not gone with lenses, but doesn't let it affect her. And her scoring teammate there, Siti Meliati, who was another girl that impressed in the game against Thailand. Hafiza even cracked a smile there. I think she knows that Brunei have got themselves back into this. That's a really long pass, and again it's the high pass this time though. I think it was the footwork there, or certainly the obstruction went against Thailand, and just like that, Brunei have got a chance to close it to 2. Remember, they trailed by 7. They've not made it pay there though. And again, I'm sure we'll see this high pass once more. Oh, it's brilliantly timed pass by the centre. Patchery, they get it to Pak Kedathanan, and the Pak lady makes no mistake. Thailand up again by 4. The goal defence having a torrid time for Brunei. Nafika Samat, as is Soyada. Feel sorry for them trying to deal with that physical mismatch that they're having to cope with. Maliati gets it to Hafisa. She'll have a free go. Remember, they've got to stay 3 feet away, the ladies. Good finish. Gap back down to 3 now. A strong final 90 seconds is what Brunei need here. The support is definitely behind them. See the Philippine girls in the background there. They appear to have stayed to watch this, which is great to see. That's going to be possession to Thailand. Patchery Samwan, the centre, will restart. They employ that high pass again, and it's a great effect. It's a tactic that Cheng Lili has clearly been working on. Arm contact, the call against Brunei. So the goal defence will have to step out. And they're able to re-establish a 4-goal lead, Thailand, with a minute to play. Sarima San Nuri with the finish there. At centre, Athia Assad getting back underway. Wing defence, let's give a mention to DK Kalisa. Haven't had a chance to feature her too much as the centre gets it back. And unfortunately, they're going to get a chance at goal here. Final 30 seconds. They need to score here. They don't want to allow Thailand to get this gap back up to 5 before half-time. And Hafisa, will she go for goal from here? This is some distance out. She's raising a smile, hop and a skip. Up and over it goes, and in it goes. Gap's back down to 3 now. Is time going to go off here? Oh, there's a warning. I think there's a warning from Bodika. He didn't like what he saw there from, it was either the goalkeeper, Kliwaked, or Hafisa. Hafisa with a nice smile after that goal went in. She has the Alice band in place. And we're going to get an interchange here. Now, this is interesting. I think he may have asked, potentially, for Kliwaked to be replaced. I'm not sure. There's certainly some moving around here. And it's going to be in wing defence. Now, let's get confirmation of that change for you. Wing defence Now, Kanitha Kang Wongang, right at the end of that first quarter. Must have been a reason for that. Well, they trailed by as many at 7 as some stage, but Brunei, led by the magnificence of goal shooter Hafisa, have battled back here, and at quarter time, they only trail by 3. It's Thailand 15, Brunei 12, back for the second quarter in a couple of minutes. You rejoin us with that concentrated look on the face of Hafisa. She is a joy to watch in the sporting arena. A more committed and passionate athlete you will fail to find, I'm sure, this week. As the MC in the arena gets the crowd well and truly up for this one. Now, appears to be an injury of some description. I wonder if that was that change that we saw late on when we saw the introduction of Kanitha Kang Wongang. It's been pretty breathless stuff, this. In terms of the pace, it's not stopped. And the lady you see on your right there, the goal shooter, Pak Kadathanan, she has been making hay. They've clearly gone to use that tactic, haven't they, of the lob pass. You can see it must be very hot there in the Juara stadium. The perspiration flooding off the girls as they're called back to the court for the start of the second quarter by referee Bodika. Nigel Lim assisting him with Yu Ling. The officials have worked very hard this week, and our thanks, of course, go to them. There are no complaints about the officiating, which is also nice to see. That might change if Malaysia plays Singapore again in the final. And there was a couple of times where Lily Chen and Najwa weren't too enamoured with what was being called against them. So 15-12, start of the second. We'll try and pick up, as always, any positional changes that have come. There's a footwork call against Hafisa. She looks rather puzzled. Oh. And then an obstruction means she has to stay out of play. And she concedes a lot of ground as well as the centre, Patri Sanwan. Very busy start to the game for Patri Sanwan, and she has been the main component in that lob pass tactic that's been working really well for them. Asking the goalkeeper, Nur Saradia, to stay out the way. Oh, she's missed one, and for once she's not got the rebound. The Pak lady, Pak Kadathanan. Still, she has 3 goes and she connects on the third occasion to open up a 4-goal lead for Thailand to get them off the board first in this second quarter. wing attack, Panchanan, Darapon, again getting it through to the goal scorer. And she is on fire, the Pack lady. We've seen some great consistent performances from the goal scorers. It's always easy, isn't it, to give them too much of the credit, because obviously the build-up work is being done in transition by the centre and the wing attack, and in many cases the goal attack as well. But difficult not to be drawn to the goal shooters in the team. Pak Radathanan for Thailand, for Brunei, Hafisa has really come to prominence throughout the course of the week, as has Ann Najwa, who's been a star of the show for the host nation, Malaysia. Charmaine So as well. Let's give her a mention for Singapore. And also not forgetting an honourable mention for the goal attack for the Philippines. Antia Senarosa, in difficult circumstances, she's performed admirably as well. So plenty of strong performances as the goal attack. Sam Nari scores goal number 18 for Thailand, and they are 3-0 at the start of this second quarter. Restarted by that Darapon Panchanan wing attack. But a rare mistake from Thailand going forward. And will give Brunei a possession to get their first points of the second quarter. 3 minutes in, but they blow it. And there's a contact there that's going to give possession back to Thailand. Pachari Samwan impeded. And Kanitha gets the ball across the goal attack. And Sirana Samnari making no mistake. So Thailand pulling away at the start of this second quarter, much to the dismay of Brunei, who would have had their sights on a strong performance here. And if you're Singapore watching this with tomorrow's game in mind, I'm sure Coach Yo, all attention on her mind at the moment, as she probably watches this from courtside, and her work overnight will be on planning a defensive strategy to deal with Pak Radathanan, the Pack lady, and the tactics employed to get the ball to her have been very effective so far, as Hafisa finally sees Brunei score in the second quarter, but it's taken them 3 minutes 45 seconds to do so. Again, that lob pass, it's so effective. I can't wait to see that matchup tomorrow already. Pak Radathanan and Lily Chen. That's going to be a head-to-head to savour. Glimpse at Ching Lili, the Thai coach. She seems very happy with what she's seeing so far. Her team opening up by 7. They lead the second quarter 5-1. And again, it's now, well, Brunei tried to take a leaf out of the tie, but with that lob pass, and poor Hafisa almost went tumbling into the stanchion there. Just look at this, the commitment, the dedication. She had no regard for her own safety, and she almost took a nasty tumble as a result. Great pass. Wing attack, finding goal attack. There's a contact call as well. So Surima Samnari has the easiest of tasks at the first attempt, and the contact by the two of them, goal shooter and goal attack, they seem a bit mystified. And all of a sudden it's turned into basketball for a brief moment in the centre. Akia, umpire Nigel Lim not happy with the footwork there. Call goes against Hafisa. Oh, a shot leaning back from Pak Radathanan. That was audacious, didn't work out, but she still managed to get the score. Thailand's lead's now up to 8. That's the biggest lead they've had in this game. They did go out to a 7 lead in the first quarter. Brunei managed to peg them back to 3, but that's as good as it's got for Brunei since then. And now the lead's back out to 8. Shortly, one fears to be 9 from a Brunei point of view. Indeed it is. 22-13, the Thais lead. this is looking a much more improved Thai team from the one we saw in 2015. Maybe not reflected in their scoreline against Malaysia. I just wonder if it'll be reflected in their scoreline against Singapore tomorrow. That's really one of the highlights for me of day 5 of competition here at the SEA Games. You go back to that 2015 Southeast Asian Games and look at Thailand's game against Singapore. Singapore beaten 65-24. I doubt it will be that convincing tomorrow. Certainly not in what we've seen so far. Singapore not really showing their best form. Singapore beat Thailand by 30 points, 59-29 in the semi-final in 2015. But the Thais do appear to have improved since then, and that figure of Pat Kedathananand, they have a formidable force. And of course, Pat Kedathananand wasn't there in 2015. She wasn't in the squad, so it's going to be a new threat for Singapore to have to contend with. And Lily Chen against Pat Kedathananand. I don't know if the boxing starts tomorrow, but never mind the boxing matchup. That's a matchup I'm looking forward to. Lily Chen and Pat Kedathananand. That's a loose pass from the wing attack. Juara there, a little bit too casual with a pass. It's given Thailand an opportunity to open up by 9 goals now. I think we all know that the lob pass is going to come here at the end of this move. Brunei doing well. They put them under pressure. That 3 seconds rule almost coming into effect, and they've managed to keep that in brilliantly. What a great defensive play. I think that was goal defence there. Nurafaya Samat, brilliant play, brilliant pressure. And Brunei with Hafisa trying to respond quickly. There's an arm contact there. It's going to give Brunei an attempt on goal. Hafisa. Fizz has left it. Goalkeeper there does well though. Tuak head. Another arm contact. So there'll be another shot on goal as Nigel Lim tries to restore some kind of order. That was a little odd pass of Brunei's own. Hafisa. There was a touch there. She should get another go here. Big goal this to restore the margin to 7. Now, the last time Hafisa scored in that kind of situation, Brunei went on a 3-0 run. They need to do that again here, and they got possession to start with. 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Thailand by 7. Maybe not for long though. Hafisa steps in. Easy finish for her. Oh, she's missed. And she's just about kept the rebound in, but it went to a black pair of hands. And Thailand can now come away with that familiar lob pass. It's a tactic that is working for them oh so well. And 23-15 is now the score. Centre in acres of space here. Pachari, Samwan. Brunei penalised. Defence and centre for Thailand, teaming up really well. Pachari, Samwan, and I think it's still Kahita there. I'll get confirmation of that for you, but they're working really well as a unit in the middle of the court. Might be Darapon, with apologies to the aforementioned lady. I think Darapon I meant to say, and Pachari, Sangwan. Thailand by 9, with a chance now to go to 10. Again, they're very quick in transition. The lob pass, I'm sure it would have come, but it was deflected out by a Brunei hand by their wing defence, DK Kalisa. So, are we going to see a double-digit lead for the first time in this Thailand-Brunei game? We are. Thais lead by 10. And again, it's so difficult to compare the form lines, but it's worth doing. We have Thailand leading Brunei by 10. At half-time, Singapore, this SEA Games, were leading them by 20. So again, very difficult to compare like to like, different lineups on many times and different game flow. But Brunei held Singapore in the third quarter, remember? They held their attacking threats of Charmaine So et al. And so far, they've not managed to contain what Thailand have had to throw at them. Great pass, brilliant pass from the wing attack. That was the rider getting it through to Hafisa. Unfortunately for Brunei, Harisa couldn't connect with the net on that occasion, and the centre, Patri Samwan, comes the other way with another lob pass, and again it finds Pak Ledathanan, and it could be a 12 lead now. It is a 12 lead. Difficult to see a way back for Brunei at this stage, but they did finish the second half stronger against Singapore, so maybe their fitness levels will come into play. 3 minutes to play, second quarter. Thailand by 12 in this preliminary round clash in the 2017 SEA Games Netball, the last game of preliminary round action for Brunei. Barring any miracles, though, we will be seeing them in the medal games at the weekend. Semi-final berth, most likely 4th place, you'd have thought, will await for them. And if you finish in 4th, you'd have to think there's every chance to be playing Malaysia. That's to be determined, though, after the 2 final matches tomorrow. A reminder, tomorrow's action again, 3 p.m. local time start. It's scheduled to be Malaysia against the Philippines first, followed by Thailand against Singapore, but did check your local listings and schedules. We had a switch today. Singapore-Philippines was supposed to be the second game, but the organisers switched it, so Thailand and Brunei would follow. Probably not a bad decision. You'd like to have the most competitive of the 2 games last, and the other as a curtain raiser. That's what we've got here, and I'm sure Thailand-Singapore will be more competitive tomorrow than Malaysia against the Philippines, as Brunei, with a good score from Hafisa, whose head's dropped ever so slightly as she's seen her team start to fall away a little bit. But look at the technique, the height on the ball, and it goes straight through the middle. The wing defence and the wing attack getting in each other's way. On the run, what a finish from Pak Ledathanan. Look at that. For the first time, she leans back, basketball-esque. The netball thought about it a couple of times and then dropped in. 14-4 is the rather lopsided score to this second quarter so far. Oh, Hafisa there. She's so brave. Sometimes almost too brave for her own good. I think she might have taken a tumble there. She got the decision. Maliati will finish for just the 5th goal of Brunei's second quarter. And they still trail by 12. Good to see a healthy crowd in to watch this one as well. It was ram-packed yesterday at this time for Malaysia-Singapore. And the semi-finals and the finals at the weekend, I'm sure, will be very well attended. A beautiful finish again from Pak Ledathanan. And Singapore may have beaten Thailand comfortably in 2015, but that was when Thailand didn't have this young lady in their ranks. And she is a joy to watch and very impressive as well. There's Nigel Lim, calls against Hafisa, who I wonder if she's picked up a little arm problem, a hand problem from that tumble she had before. She's not been as comfortable since. Oh, very unlucky. Great effort from Maliati to try and keep that ball in play. And I don't think we're going to have time for Thailand to even launch an attack here. Pawina, the goalkeeper. That's a change from Tiwaked, who was the starting goalkeeper. Last second, that's going to do it. Time expires. 30-17, a 15-5 quarter in Thailand's favour, and she is the star of the show, the lady in shot there, Pak Ledathanan. At the moment, she's winning the personal duel with her opposite number at the other end of the court, Hafisa, who's tried her best but struggled with limited possession, and that lob pass tactic has seen Thailand to very good effect. They lead by 13 at the half. We'll be back in plenty of time within the next 5 minutes for the second half of Thailand against Brunei in the 2017 SEA Games preliminary round netball.
about to enter the third quarter of Thailand versus Brunei. Alright, we have 2 more quarters to go, so ladies and gentlemen, if your heart is pumping right now, slow it down, relax, relax. Now we're going to do a breathing exercise, okay? I want everyone to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now do the repeat with me. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, fa, so, Kiara. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Do, re. Alright. Now we're going to say ula, lari, lurus. Ula, ula, straight, lari, straight. Ula, lari, lurus. Alright? Practice, practice. Ula, lari, lurus. Ula, lari, lurus. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, on this side. On the ground. I want you guys to sing, she sells seashells on the seashore. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, go. She sells seashells on the seashore. All right, give yourself a round of applause. All right, now everyone's very pumped up. Exercise. Water to the bar. One more time, ladies and gents. Please give it up for Team Thailand. Let's everyone say Sawadee to the team. Sawadee. Now, let's show some love to Team Brunei. Let's say, apa khabar Brunei? Mantap. Alright, ladies and gents, are you guys ready for the third quarter of the game? Ready? Ready? Do you think we can do a mini sea games wave? Can we do a mini wave? Let's just go like this. Until the end, and patah balik. Okay? Can we try? Alright, you guys have to do this game. I'll extend my wings out to you guys. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! No, please! A proper wave, come on, come on. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! I think I caught it, is it? I think I caught you. Alright. Wait, ladies and gentlemen. Give some, show some spirit, show some support for both the teams. You guys can do the biggest wave you can. 3, 2, 1, go! Can you get any audiences? Okay, do we have time to get any audiences? Alright, one time. You guys have this time. You
So players being called back onto court then for the start of this second half. 30-17, the Thais lead at the half, largely thanks to an imperious display by Pak Ladathanan, their goal scorer. We'll pick up, as always, any changes for you as and when we go along. But it's Thailand with the opportunity to be first to strike. And there's that lob pass again. And there has been a change, I think, unless I'm mistaken. That is a change at goalkeeper, maybe not. Sorry, my apologies. I thought Soyadea had sprouted a foot during the half-time break. It didn't look that much of a physical mismatch in that brief passage of play. It certainly did at times in the first half. So Brunei, now they have an opportunity to strike first, and it's important that they do if they've got any aspirations of clawing their way back into this. What's the decision here? Boudica gives the ball Brunei's way. It's Farrell, it's centre. That's a change, certainly, from the starting 7. Farrell now at centre, and that's good news for Brunei. They score first. Now, you can see a change in goal scorer there. I do wonder whether Hafisa is feeling the effects of a knock. She took a couple of nasty tumbles in that first half. It certainly, you would imagine, wouldn't be tactical. She's been an ace shooter for Malaysia, for Brunei, I should say, in Malaysia. And that goal attack. They've missed there, and that might be the difference between not having Hafisa on the court. They're going to get another opportunity. And they've missed once more, and again, the new goal shooter with an opportunity to score. We'll get identification of that goal scorer for you just as soon as possible. Apologies to her friends and family watching, but she's off the mark. I think that came off Brunei, didn't know. The decision is Brunei possession. He goes to the wing defence. A big, long, raking cross-court pass was always racked with danger, and so it's proved. Here's an easy opportunity for the first goal of the half for Pak Ladathanan. And a 12-point lead is restored. Now, the heavy whistle has gone there while we've been off on that replay. Timeout here, it's going to be a change. Bit of confusion. New goalkeeper coming on. I wonder if that's in response to the tactical change or otherwise that we've seen from Brunei at goal shooter. Kuaked, who is the starting goalkeeper, is back on in that position, I think. With an issue with bibs. The umpire's, of course, very strict on that to enable them to umpire the game quickly. If you are new to netball, certain positions are only allowed in certain parts of the court. And it's the goalkeeper having an issue with their bib, getting a teammate to assist. Lead 11, contact there against Brunei. So, Patchery Sangian got a move going that resulted in a miss from Thailand, who've looked ever so slightly off kilter at the start of this second half. It's Brunei in the ascendancy at the moment, still with a big deficit to overturn of 11 points, but they'll remember that Thailand did it to them at the previous SEA Games, so it is possible. A reminder going back to 2015. Brunei won both the first quarters against Thailand before Thailand came back very strong indeed, winning in the third quarter by 11 points, and Brunei winning the fourth by 1. So it was the third quarter that did the damage for Brunei on that occasion, and they now find themselves 12 points down again. I was just speaking to my media colleagues from Media Court, the Singapore broadcasters, during the half-time break, and already everyone looking forward to Lily Chen against Pak Ladathanan. That is a match-up to look forward to on day 5 tomorrow. Interception possibilities for Brunei. They've come away with this, but the footwork, I think, wasn't to the umpire's satisfaction. Gap stays at 11. Arm contact against Thailand, so not been as fluent this from the Thais in the third quarter. They're back on track there, though, with a goal to re-establish a 12-point cushion with 10 minutes to play in the third. Coach Cheng Lili. Goal attack will be looking for the goal scorer there. It's a long-range shot that's required, and it missed by a reasonable distance off the rim. Brunei will get possession back, however. Thailand able to come away with it. Do hope that's not serious injury to her feet. It would be such a shame if she wasn't able to compete in the semi-finals, of which Brunei are sure to be a part of, barring any epic upsets on the fifth and final day. Remember, 5 teams in the netball. Thailand, Brunei here. Singapore, Malaysia, the 2 favourites, along with the Philippines. Oh, it's a miss from Brunei. That could be costly, but they've got it back. They've done well to get it back. Arm contact as well, so they'll get a bit of respite there. Lisha with an attempt to reduce it to 11, but they've coughed that possession up rather easily. And Pak Ledathanan is lurking. You can see her waiting for this lob pass that keeps coming and coming. Well, they didn't go the lob pass there, they went the chest pass route, and it cost them. Brunei have come away with it. And Thailand, certainly it's a slow start. Just the 3 goals in 7 minutes for them. In contrast, Brunei are winning this third quarter at the moment, 5-3. The lob pass, clearly something Thailand have been working on, not just when they're trying to get through to the goal shooter. In the middle of the park as well, and there it goes again. Great pass, have to hand it to Pachuri there. The contact was called before she released though. So, goal attack off the rim. Comes through to Pak Ledathanan. Can she stop the Thai rot? Oh, she can't, it's off the rim from her. And another contact and another chance for Thailand. I think this is their 4th attempt and 4th infringement by Brunei that's surely going to lead to the 34th goal. Doesn't get much easier than this. Right in front, and in it goes from Sam Nuri. That was a deflected pass from Brunei. They've just managed to keep it in well. Gets us to the wing attack. It's a good pass, but Thailand have capitalised. And again, the quicker transition coming from the ladies in the black and grey. And this might just be the start of the stall of the Brunei third quarter comeback as the lob pass comes in. Spare a thought for the poor goalkeeper. Trying to live with this tall Thai goal shooter who's going to make it 35 now. Remember, the gap has been as big as 14, I think, so not getting any worse. Timeout being called here. Looks like there's an injury from Brunei. Is that at centre? It is at centre. So a change at centre for Brunei. That's Faru going off and Zora coming on. Zora, who started the game at wing attack, now coming on as an interchange at centre. Oh, she's lost her shooting mojo a little bit in this second half, Pak Ledathanan. She makes no mistake on the second attempt, but Those were the chances she was converting at the first time of asking throughout the first 2 quarters of this game. Net result is, though, Thailand back up by 14. They made a mini comeback when they trailed by 7, Brunei. But this is beginning to get away from them now. Just over 20 minutes in total left to play. 14 points is a huge margin to try and overturn. And it could soon be 15. Contact called against Brunei. They've done a lot of hard work there. It's Siu now back playing goalkeeper. A real tough match up. She's going to know tonight that she's been in a game of netball. And the Thais at 16 goals, it really surely is all over. The centre, Pachuri, looking for support. Doesn't find it, and they concede possession, the Thais. So we had a 27-goal first quarter, a 20-goal second quarter, and so far, a 12-goal second half third quarter. Brunei have scored 5 goals in this third quarter so far. Thailand 7, make that 7-6 now in the Thailand favour. There's Maliati. Manages to get the job done there. If they're going to have a big push, Brunei, it needs to happen now. And of course, they're doing it without Hafisa, their first choice goal shooter, who's gone off with what we can only assume is an injury. Her replacement, though, not doing too badly so far. Not as prolific, but certainly playing a part and making a big contribution as coach Tilaka looks on. Footwork infringement by Thailand. Gives Brunei a little bit of a respite and an opportunity to close the gap to 12. Good long pass, finds goal shooter who wants it straight back. Does well as well, the centre, Zura, to get it to her. And that's a good finish. Marvellous finish from the goal shooter, the understudy. Doing a real good job of filling the shoes of Hafisa. And now, is it going to be down to 11? It is, you know. 37-26. Is there time left for Brunei to make a charge here? Thailand have wobbled a little bit. Who else but Pat Ledathanan to stop the rot somewhat? But a lead that was at 16 and maybe looking as going as big as 17 is now down to 12. And Brunei are winning this third quarter. They're in front in the third quarter, 9-8. So as we saw in the third quarter against Singapore when they managed a 12-all draw, it could be that in 2017 Brunei comes strong in the second half. Huge lob pass attempted, almost found the target, was gratefully deflected away in the end by wing defence. But Lisa involved in a big build-up here with Zura. They turned it over inside the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. A chance for Thailand to extend to 13 goals once more. Lob pass, what else? And it finds the target once more. How are Singapore going to deal with this lob pass tomorrow? Because Pat Ledathanan, not only is her shooting excellent, she's managing to gather in these lob passes time after time. And here's another one, look at that. On that occasion, defended well by Brunei. But that's a rare example of when they've managed to counter that tactic employed by the Thais today. A lot of hustling going on inside the final minute. It's Thailand by 13 goals here. But a stronger showing, a much stronger showing from Brunei in this third quarter. And that lady in shot there has really started to make an impact here. As good as Hafisa is, the Brunei attack is becoming even more effective since that replacement's made, whether it was tactical or otherwise. There's Mariati. And a chance to pick up a loose ball here now. 20 seconds to close the gap to 10. Right on three-quarter time. 17 seconds they went for the lob pass. Panicking understandably with the clock ticking down. And it was wing defence. I think that's DK Kalisa, who just couldn't get it done. So final seconds of this third quarter. A much better showing for Brunei at the start of this second half. Again, the timing seemingly a little bit out of kilter, but the whistle does go, blown by Nigel Lim to blow for three-quarter time. Well, after trailing 30-17 at half-time, the third quarter much more fruitful for Brunei. They've won it 11-9. Back with a fourth and final quarter very shortly. Stay with us right here, live at the SEA Games 2017. It's day 4 of the netball from the Juara Stadium.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter the final quarter of Thailand versus Brunei. So please, a round of applause for both of the teams. Very valiant efforts today. I feel very, this is a good level. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we want to say thank you, show our appreciation to all of our sponsors here today at the 29th Southeast Asia Games 2017. Juara for housing the netball competition. So please, a round of applause for all the organizers, behind the scenes people, the team, technical team, everyone here inside the stadium. You yourself, please give a round of applause to yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gearing towards the semifinals. I am really especially nervous. Do you guys think Team Brunei will make it? Do you think Team Thailand will make it? Yes, okay, we gotta show all of our
So the fourth and final quarter about to be started by umpire Bukit. Passes the ball to the Brunei centre. They trail by 11, did trail by as many as 16 in this game, so they're coming on strong. Can Thailand, with a huge lead, admittedly, hold off a resurgent Brunei, who, if anything, have looked a little bit more effective, which has surprised me since Hafisa was withdrawn. They've missed their first opportunity in the fourth quarter, though. I wonder if that might be the moment where any hopes of a comeback, a fairy tale comeback, evaporates. Thailand, though, managed to score first in the fourth quarter, eventually in a very scrappy period of play, and it's got scrappy from Thailand, certainly. At times in the second quarter, they were so fluid, winning that by 15 goals to 5. And interesting now that they've also decided to rest their big goal-scoring threat in Pak Nadathanan. No doubt she's being wrapped up in cotton wool with tomorrow's big game against Singapore in mind. And there's a goal for Brunei to get them off the mark. And I'm delighted to be able to finally name-check Amal there. And boy, does she deserve it. Just wanted to confirm that I got her name spot on, but Amal there, who is the replacement goal shooter for Hafisa, has had a really strong second half in this game, staking her claim, I'm sure, for a starting berth for a semi-final spot that almost inevitably now looks like it's going to go Brunei's way, regardless of the scoreline here, with the Philippines needing a miracle in the points difference and an improbable victory against the tournament favourites Malaysia. Here's the replacement goal shooter for Thailand. Finishing off, no problem at all. Gaps at 11. Could soon be about to be 10. It's a lovely finish from Amal. What a second half she is having. And certainly that second quarter where Hafisa maybe picked up a knock, they struggled with only 5 goals. 11 in the third quarter, only 1 shy of the total they managed in the first, and they're off and running with 3 in the fourth. But Thailand, for now, matching them goal for goal in this fourth quarter, and while that still happens, Ching Lili on the right there, the Thai coach will know there is no danger of her charges being caught here. Mariatti, who's been ever present on the court so far, scoring a goal, and now the gap is down to 10. Now that's the shortest gap that Brunei have faced for quite some time in this game, certainly around about 12, 13 minutes of play. And just like that, Thailand get it back up to 11. Quick in transition, nice crisp passing from Brunei. As we approach the final 11 minutes, that's loose though, and it's well picked up from the centre, Patchery. Not sure the lob pass will be employed as much as it was in the first half. Now there's no Pat Nadathanan on the court. It's going to be Thai possession there on the back line. And it drops, 44-32, gaps back up to 12, and is that the beginning and the end of the Brunei resurgence? The Thais haven't been as effective in this second half, but they're still maintaining a double-digit lead over their Brunei Dar es Salaam rivals. with no bronze medal match per se. Thailand and Brunei should both still be good for bronze medals. All they have to do is avoid finishing bottom of the group. And the Philippines are going to spare them that ignominy. And of course Thailand, well, there was only 3 teams, Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand in 2001, but Thailand picked up the bronze there. And they also picked up the bronze in 2015, alongside, who else but Brunei. So both teams looking to match their bronze feat from 2 years ago. Shame really, must be a good reason why there's not a bronze medal match. It would be nice to see. I wouldn't mind seeing these 2 teams go at it again with a medal at stake. We saw what the motivation of a medal and certainly the colour of a medal can do for netball games in that incredible final in 2015 between Malaysia and Singapore. Singapore coming out just on top after the teams had drawn in the group stage. Darapon, consistent and persistent in wing attack. Oh, it's a beautiful pass behind the back, the bounce pass. Cheeky that from the goal shooter. But when you've got a 12-point lead, I suppose there's then the time to try those kind of risky plays. Didn't come off on that occasion, but it gave us a bit of excitement in a game that's unfortunately petering out to an uncompetitive finish, which is a shame. On paper, it looked like it would be a tight affair, and it certainly was for the first quarter. Thais just winning that 15-12. It was the second quarter, though, that they pulled away 15-5, and even though Brunei won the third, that 10-goal deficit they endured in the second, it really cost them any chance of being competitive in this game. Big pass out to the wing attack. Close back into goal attack. Sam Nari, and another 13-point lead. Inside the final 8 minutes here at the Juara Stadium. Bukit Kiara, home of the netball. In the 2017 SEA Games, great pass from the centre Zura to the goal scorer, Amal. He's having a really, really impressive second half here. Can't emphasise it enough. Hafisa's shoes have been well filled, although we do hope Hafisa is okay. It's a surprise not to see her reappear at the third quarter, but she did look like she may have taken a knock during that first half. Thailand in again. And the gaps never come under double digits in this second half. They close to within 10-11 at the end of the third quarter. They won 9-11, but it's been far more level pegging in this fourth quarter. 8-7. Thailand leading so far in the fourth and final quarter. Change in wing attack. Darapon, who's had a busy afternoon, makes way for the final 6.5 minutes. Great score from Mariatti, who must be feeling the pressure now. She's had a lot of court time this week so far. Great play from Amal. Didn't quite capitalise with the finish after a lovely bit of footwork. And that's a mistake at goal defence from Binwali. And that will give Brunei another opportunity. Big effort from range this. Oh, in and off the rim. And Thailand will come away with it. All of a sudden, though, get back down to 11. It'd be a personal target, I'm sure, for Brunei to try and reduce it to less than double digits. Still a big ask, though. That will help. That won't, though. What a finish that is. That's one of the shots of the day. A couple of times you've seen them leaning back and connecting, and Sirima Samnari with a great finish there, capitalising, just holding on to the rebound, and before she went off the court, up and in it goes. Oof. All these netball players giving so much physically. Najala, that goal defence for Brunei, putting her body on the line. And it's well worth it because at the end of the day they force a turnover. Well played, Najla. That was a risky pass. They were fortunate there. The onrushing Tirapon, who's replaced Pat Ladathanan, the goal shooter. So there's another change in wing defence for Brunei. DK Kalisa started in that position. Don't think that's her playing there now. As we enter the final 4 minutes, 3 minutes 43 to go, 12 goals the difference. Another chance for Amal to stake her claim. She does well to get the rebound there, and she converts. And again, they've really hung tough in these third and fourth quarters, Brunei. Remember, they lost the first quarter 15-12. The second was where the damage was done, a 15-5 deficit there. They then won the third, 9-11. And it's level pegging at the moment. Nine each so far in this fourth quarter. Very tight indeed. And Brunei, courtesy of the ever-reliable Maliati, now, for the first time in a long while, have the gap down to 10. The clock is not their friend, however, but it'll be a huge psychological boost for them ahead of their next game, which will be a semi-final, you'd imagine, if they could get this down to single figures with a very strong second half display. Call as you like from Tirapon, who stepped into the shoes of Pat Ladathanan and been quite effective. That looked like contact there. It does go Brunei's way. Timeout being called. Umpire wary of letting the clock run down too much for no reason. A loose ball there. Contact. Gives Meliati another chance. Not on that occasion, though. Thailand going to come away with this, so maybe the dream of a single-digit deficit by full time. A little bit beyond Brunei, but they're still running hard to the final whistle here, inside the final 90 seconds at the Juara Stadium in Bukit, Kiara. Great passage of play from Thailand. Superb, really quick in transition. It comes through to Sam Nari, and she scores to open up another 12-point gap. And Singapore will be watching this with interest. Certainly the second half display of Thailand wouldn't concern them, but the first half, particularly that second quarter when they blew Brunei away 15-5, and if they employ that lob tactic to Pat Ladathanan, and Lily Chen, if he does play goalkeeper tomorrow, struggles to cope with it, it's going to be a mouth-watering clash in prospect in the scheduled final game of the preliminary round of the netball. And unfortunately for Brunei, it's Thailand who are finishing the stronger here, clawing themselves ahead in the fourth quarter. But certainly some improvement on display from Thailand in 2017. Whether they're at Singapore or Malaysia's level, well, we've already seen they're possibly not at Malaysia's level, but we'll get an opportunity tomorrow night to see if they're at Singapore's level. inside the final 20 seconds now of the final action on day 4 of the netball here at the 2017 SEA Games in Kuala Lumpur. Long, ambitious pass as time expires. Will I make that? A 12-all draw in the 4th quarter. We'll get confirmation shortly. One thing we do know is that Thailand have been victorious. They win by 51 points to 39. An admirable display, particularly in the first half when Pak Ladathanan was absolutely imperious as goal scorer. For Brunei, well, it'll be interesting to see if that was an injury that Hafisa suffered, but nonetheless, Amal came on and replaced her with great consistency in the goal-scoring states. And once more, lovely to see both sets of players coming together in a post-match huddle. That just about does it here for the netball on day 4, but make sure you join us tomorrow. Scheduled start time of 3 p.m, subject to change, for Malaysia against the Philippines. The favourites Malaysia in action in their final preliminary round match. And then at 5:15, everyone looking forward to Thailand against Singapore, where we'll finally determine our 4 semi-finalists and, of course, the bracket that will determine who's played who on Saturday ahead of the gold medal match on Sunday. But another great afternoon of netball. The girls and ladies not letting us down. Confirmation of Thailand just edging that 4th quarter, 12-11. For a final score of Thailand 51 goals, Brunei 39. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more netball at the SEA Games 2017.
KL2017.